Greetings, Astrophiles. This is Pat Cosgrove for Cosgrove's Cosmos. Today we're going to talk about the rough electrical work for the Observatory project and pouring the slab. Let's get started. We had to do a few things to get things ready for the pour. One thing is if you look around the perimeter of the building, you can see light. And the reason you can see light is during the rains we recently had, things settled a little bit. So we're going to have to pack dirt around the sides to make that nice and solid for when we pour the floor. The other problem we ran into is with the eastern piers. The western piers are set up with their sonotubes right now. They're just fine. But on the eastern piers, we had the correct positioning of the pier plates that was somewhat off-center from the concrete column used as the foundation. So in order to center things up for the slab, we ended up cutting a section of sonotube and lining it up specifically with the pier. This will give us a nice concentric positioning when the slab is poured. But it does expose this area of the concrete foundation to the side here. And so we need to cover that with an inch or so of material before we pour the slab so that we remain isolated. The final piece we wanted to show here is we needed to put in some plywood. This will act as a mounting position for the power panel and other electronics will be coming into the building. The team has now gone around the building, backfilled some of the settlage that we had, pounded it in. So this is a combination of dirt and gravel. And so now we have brought the level on the outside up so that there's no more light coming in. And this will be sealed by the slab when it's poured. The next step is to prepare the electrical conduit that's going to be running under the slab before it's poured. And you can go to my blog entry for this part of the build, and I'll go through the detail of what electrical service I wanted to bring in here. But you can see here that what we're doing is we brought the panel in, we brought the feed lines in, and now we're running all the connectors to all the outlets and switches on the walls will be happening under the slab. So we're digging a trench, we're running conduit over, and then this will allow all those feeds to go in under the slab. And if we want to run additional lines, we can always fish those in later. Now the electrical conduits are all in, and the dirt has then been raked over the conduits that were laid, and we're ready to finish preparing the floor for the pour. The next step is to lay a poly vapor barrier all across the floor, and then on top of that, wire mesh and rebar is laid down that'll act for reinforcements for the slab when it's poured. The final step is to put the forms in for the concrete pad that'll be going outside the building door. Now all we need to do is wait for the cement truck to arrive, and then we can start to bring concrete into the building. When the cement truck got here, it attempted to back up to the door of the observatory so the chute could load in, but we couldn't get the angle right and the chute couldn't be used. So the truck pulled out so it could try to back in again. The second try did not go well. We had a lot of rain and the ground was a little mushy, and the tires began to spin. He pulled out and tried to do another attempt, and the tires spun and the truck started to fishtail. At that point we decided maybe the boom arm was a better way for doing this. So we carefully let the boom arm into the building, and we loaded wheelbarrow by wheelbarrow each load into the building to be distributed. As you can see from this image, it was a bit of a reach, and we needed every bit of extension the boom arm would give us in order to get the concrete into the building. The team worked to distribute the concrete and carefully smooth it out. Before they were done, though, I had to leave. We had a commitment to leave around noon to head to Boston to join my son, where we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. So before the job was done, I had to leave. The following Sunday, when we got back into town, the first thing I did was go up to the observatory and see how the floor came out. And it looked really nice, very smooth. It was a pretty clean job. Everything was what I hoped it would be. And so now we're going to let this cure for about a week. and then we're going to start working on the next steps. Should mention another precaution we took. Since it's been getting colder, we've had a herd of about 12 or 13 deer who've been hanging around the observatory. And the idea of having little deer hoof prints in the concrete was not a great one. So the team put wire mesh up over the door so the deer couldn't get in and successfully protected it. As you can see over my shoulder, the first snows of winter have finally hit us. This is a little bit of a disappointment. I was hoping to get further along before we had to deal with the snow. Right now I have a temporary doorway, a patchwork quilt of some plywood covering the door so that the spindrift doesn't drift in. Like I say, I don't know exactly what the impact of the snow will be on the construction schedule, but we'll figure it out as we go forward, so stay tuned. This is Pat Cosgrove signing off for Cosgrove's Cosmos, wishing you clear skies and excellent seeing.